Hello, I'm Bob Weir with another interview of People in the News in North Texas. My guest today is Greg Porter, who is running for mayor of Copper Canyon in the May 1st election. Good afternoon, Greg.
Good afternoon.
All right, let's begin, if you would, by telling our viewers a little about your background in business, sports, public service, etc.
Right. So, kind of starting with a little bit of I guess, the professional. So far, currently, I work for a large general contractor that's in the commercial development world. In my past, I've done the Blue Star football stadium that's in Frisco. I've worked on the Texas Rangers new ballpark, Toyota Stadium's new complex in Frisco. Currently, I'm working on the Village Town Center that's located in Dallas. It's a master plan community. So my experience is in the construction development world. And I also have worked on the side as an owner's rep for the Dallas Cowboys with Jerry Jones, handling some of his new projects that he does on the side. So kind of a little array, but all around the developing world. Sports, I grew up in Keller High School. Went to Keller High School when it was just one school, and I played 3 sports there. Moved on to go to Texas A&M, at which I played football and baseball. And then, long story short, signed with the Texans in college, and then out of college, and then signed with the Angels and played about 11 years in minor leagues, and then Japan and various other places. So have a little bit of a sports background, have a little bit of a development background, and then as far as public service, just being part of the communities and keeping myself involved is the extent of what I've done publicly.
All right, if you would please tell us, what do you consider the most significant issues facing Copper Canyon going forward?
I would say for me, and listening to the town, which I do share the opinion as the majority of the town, in protecting the rural future, not just maintaining it, because I feel the landscape we're in now is okay, but I'm worried about 5 years and 10 years from now, just because of the growth. And just the rural nature of the community. Everybody enjoys acreage, farms, horses, cows, and to be able to give the citizens the land and the community that they bought initially out here, and to protect that and preserve it, to me is the most important part, because that's listening to what the town wants.
So for those who may not know, what is the role of the mayor in Copper Canyon?
To the best of my knowledge, the way I see it is, first and foremost, is to provide an avenue to allow for a free and fair election, so that people always believe and trust that their voice will be heard when it comes time to picking officials. Also, like I was talking about earlier, just listening to what the issues are on a day-to-day basis, and then actually doing something with it, accordingly. And then lastly is balancing and maintaining a skinny budget, keeping as much money into the landowners' pockets as possible.
And you believe you're the best person to handle that role?
I believe I am. I believe I don't have a vision for the town, because as mayor, I believe it's an unbiased role. Now, I have a personal opinion, but that takes a backseat, in my opinion, to what moving forward with the town, and it needs to move forward according to what the majority of the town wants, in my opinion. So me being able to listen, to provide ample solutions that benefit and stay in lines with the town's wishes, is what I feel makes me a better candidate.
Okay. For some general information, what's the population of Copper Canyon approximately?
I believe the last I heard, it was just below 1,600. I believe there's somewhere between 1,100 to 1,200 registered voters currently in Copper Canyon. And I believe Louisville ISD and Denton ISD, we use both of those ISDs to service the kids. So.
And is Copper Canyon primarily with single-family homes?
Yes, that's what it is comprised of, is single-family homes. Most of the homes are in 1 acre or larger lots. There are some zoned areas which are 2 to 5 and then 5+ in regards to acreage. And there are some developments currently. One of them would be the Vickery Park that's off 407. There's the Boots Ranch, which is off of Copper Canyon Road, and then Copper Creek, also off of Copper Canyon Road. So and then you always have some nice developments of some single lots where you have a custom home builder come in. So all in all, I believe it's single family homes. It's rural. We're a septic system community. We're not sewer. So it seems as though the development is staying that way, with an exception of Vickery Park.
And in your bio, you said you're a single family, you're what do you call it, home, a private home, what do you call it, private home developer?
Custom home builder?
Custom home builder, right. I
Okay.
couldn't think of the word. Okay.
No, you're good. You're good. So for years, my father was a superintendent in residential world for about 42 years. So over the years, I've kind of been a weekend warrior in building homes for like family members or friends, because building a home is expensive, but then paying somebody to build it is even more sometimes. So that's where I come in and just kind of save the money. And I did build my house currently here in Copper Canyon, so which we are extremely happy with right now.
How about the tax rate per $100 valuation? Is that approximately?
It's about 0.29 and some change. And I believe the projected budget is somewhere upwards of a little over 1.6 million for this coming year.
1.6 million. Okay.
Yes, sir.
How about Copper Canyon's bond rating?
Well, I don't know all the great details of that. I've been told, being part of town hall meetings, that we have an excellent bond rating. I'm not inside the local government yet, so I don't know to what actual rating it is at this moment, but I do know that we have an excellent bond rating.
And you don't have your own police department in Copper Canyon, right?
That's correct. We do not. Currently, we are using Denton Police Department, and then we also utilize the Denton Emergency Services for fire and whatnot. So right now, we do have dedicated service from Denton, though.
All right, yeah. And I guess the sheriff, also the county sheriff, they're responsible for some of those areas?
That's right. And like I said, they have dedicated lines for 911 calls, and certain people are assigned to certain areas at all times. So that's correct.
Where do the Copper Canyon residents get their water supply?
Right now, to my knowledge, it's exclusively Cross Timbers Water Supply, which is located in southern Denton, kind of right on our border.
Yeah, very nice place to live. I have some friends there, and it's a great area. Well, Greg, we're coming to the close pretty quickly. So is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just, I had no intentions of running, and there wasn't something bad that happened that said, oh, I'm going to go change that. I just kind of see a little bit of expansion happening. And what I'd like to do is to come in being heavy commercial and residential and understanding how they develop. I hear the town's cries for no commercial and no high density housing. So what I'm trying to do is come to town with solutions and knowledge of development to put in some guardrails, by ordinances that help protect the town's wishes. Because I have seen the results of what happens when commercial comes into residential, because I've been a part of those. So I really, as a resident, I don't want to see it, because I enjoy not anybody knowing where Copper Canyon is. I enjoy that very much. So I just want to be a part of the town and serve it in any way I can. Bring solutions, and action is really what I'm about. So that's what it's.
You don't want too many people knowing how great it is there, because well, you know what, I say the same thing about Plow Mountain all the time, but it's grown tremendously. But it's grown in a very nice way. How about campaigning? Are you doing any campaigning, and what kind?
So really what I'm after now is, other than the standard kind of a few yard signs, I don't want to go overboard, because that's a little not my style. My main strategy, other than using yourself and your platform, is really to go out and knock on doors, introduce myself, because in a small town, I would like to be on first name basis, not with everybody, but if you're a small town, act like one. And it's not like we have, thousands and thousands of houses like, Flower Mound does. So for me, it's important that people know that I care enough to shake their hand and introduce myself. So it's really
Yeah,
what
and I agree. In person, door-to-door campaigning is really the best. And I know many elected officials around here that are in office because they spend a lot of time doing that. Something about the voter, they like to have some kind of connection. And if they've even met the candidate, they will likely vote for that candidate because that person had taken the time to come and meet them. So it's a tough way to campaign because it takes a lot of footwork, but it's probably the most effective.
it is. And I think that's going to be key, that because, everybody knows who Ron is now. And I think he's done a great job. I don't know him personally, but, I have no issues with him at all. So I think it's important that people meet me in person and kind of understand what I'm about if they're ever were to support me in an election. So
Sure.
that's what I'm
Sure,
going at.
I agree. Well, all right, Greg, I guess we'll close now. And I just, by the way, do you have a website that you like to mention?
Well, my wife's getting it together right now. It'll have my full bio that I had sent to you, and then we'll probably hand it out as I meet them on a flyer. That way, people, if they want to get to dig a little deeper into what I've actually done, then I
Sure,
think
that'll work. All right, I just want to thank you for the interview, and Greg, good luck in the election.
Thank you so much. Have a great one, man. Appreciate you.
You too.